Damage of aftershock and dash attacks. The Harumasa set is here. I guess you could skip Anby and then farm this for Harumasa. Or you could farm this for Anby and pull Anby. Upon hitting an enemy with aftershock or dash, if the damage dealt aligns with the equipper's attribute, the equippers gain 1 stack of a buff effect. At most once per use of a skill. For each stack, the equipper's attack increases by 4, crit rate by 4, and the attack can stack up to 3 times and lasts for 15 seconds. If the damage dealt aligns with the equipper's attribute, either anomaly set on the second one, anomaly mastery, and then equipper's anomaly proficiency, Phaethon's melody. Do you think the bottom set could be a Vivian set? Purple disc sus. Is it worth going for Truby Anby if you have Haru and Chingy build? I feel like you farm the new set if you like your Harumasa and you like your Haru and Chingy team. We are getting a lot of electric characters. Though it seems like they're branching out not just into... They're branching into like the aftershock attacks. Instead of just having different attribute agents that you want to pull for, maybe they'll probably have buffs where it buffs your aftershocks. It does kind of look like her umbrella. At the bottom icon is purple and it's also Vivian's umbrella. Aftershock is only something that Anby, Pulchra, and I think Trigger can deal. Wait, what is dash attacks? Dash attacks is when you just dash and press attack. The main benefiter that's not Pulchra, Silver Soldier, Anby, and Trigger for the first set is Harumasa. Aftershock, all the new characters in the next banner can deal aftershock, it seems like. Silver Soldier buffs aftershock, and then she herself has aftershock attacks. And then Trigger can trigger aftershock, and Pulchra can trigger aftershock. So the second 4-piece, when any squad member uses EX, the equipper's anomaly proficiency increases by 45. If the character using the EX is not the equipper's ether damage is increased by 25. I feel like it means our ether anomaly Vivian might be off-field. Because she can go on this set, and then she goes off-field. So then when any squad member uses their attack, it will proc the set buff, and then she'll deal damage off-field. And the second set looks like a off-field for a more off-field character. Yeah, all the new units, all 3 units, Trigger, Silver Soldier, Anby, and Pulchra have aftershock, can deal aftershock. It's like I think it's the follow-up, the new follow-up mechanic that we're getting. She might be sub DPS. Why ether damage? Because Vivian's probably going to be ether. So ether damage, because it buffs her, but then she can be off-field and get the buff, while the on-field character uses their EX special attack. Lasting for 8 seconds. Vivian follow-up to Hugo team. Not sure Vivian will have any follow-up attacks. You hope her umbrella is like the Mary Poppins. A purple for purple damage. Got a color coordinate. Shadow Harmony. And the colors of the first set looks like our Pulchra, Silver Soldier, and Trigger colors. All anomaly characters are dual DPS, so her being off-field means she could work with Miyabi. Now the set could go on an off-field Vivian for Miyabi. Because it buffs anomaly mastery, so it sounds like she could trigger the ether anomaly quickly. We get ether anomaly set before ether anomaly character. That sounds like we're about to get the ether anomaly character after. It's AM for 2-piece 2. You wonder if this can replace 2-piece of Yanagi. Or if you want to just go on, if you just want to have her be a support. Support to build up more electric anomaly for Miyabi. Did they say this is the epilogue actually? Is it confirmed 2.0 is coming after? The first set is good for Harumasa, because Haramasa mainly deals dash attack damage. So the top set is for Haramasa players or Anby. We did also get the Astra set before Astra, that is true. So the first set, Pulchra can probably go on it too. Pulchra, Haramasa, Silver Anby, Trigger. Depends on how much damage Trigger is dealing. Oh, it was called Epilogue. I see. So we're going from 1.6 to 2.0. I wonder what they have planned for 2.0. Time to go attack percent disc 6 on Bernice and Jane, and then go 2-piece. But the anomaly mastery here, 8% is not very much. If it's 2.0, then Vivian. Yeah, if it's 2.0, that means they're gonna debut 1.7. Maybe it's the end of our main quest. And there could be another patch, but it's not the main quest. Like, main story ends, but then we go off into an interlude or a break before 2.0. How much disc 6 AM? I think it's 30%. 1.7 probably filler. That would make sense. Oh, and then they debut the VTubers in 2.0. The one that everyone has been waiting for. They didn't say, but the story was listed as Chapter 5 Epilogue. Epilogue, so epilogue to the main story. But we could get 1.7. Maybe even 1.8 if they want to add some extra filler. Or add some extra interlude chapters. You haven't built Harumasa yet? Is he strong? You don't have Chingy? Are you planning to pull? If you're planning to pull for Anby, I don't think you need to build Harumasa. If you're skipping Anby, I think you could raise up Harumasa for your electric DPS. Is the new anomaly set good for Bernice? It's not good for Bernice because the 4-piece only buffs either damage increase. And then the 2-piece is anomaly master. You could put Bernice on the 2-piece. ZZZ anniversary, roughly July. One more filler patch and then we sync up. Because 2 more patches, it's about 3 months. February, March, April, May, and then in around June, 2.0. Right before the anniversary, and then maybe 2.1 will be the anniversary patch. 等不及抽满命波可纳，看来现在只需要抽5个波可纳，因为他送一只波可纳。安比随便出吧，看来 CY 对安比并不感兴趣啊。DPS Nicole wouldn't really go on the 4-piece. DPS Nicole would probably go on the actual ether damage set. Because Nicole doesn't build a lot of AP. She doesn't really need the extra AM. The support Nicole could potentially, to help her apply some more ether. Apply ether anomaly quicker. Anomaly Julian. You're still pulling for Sanby even when you leveled Haramasa? If you don't plan to play a lot of Haramasa, or even if you build Haramasa, you could definitely still pull for Anby. You're hoping to M5 Pulchra while pulling for Bernice. Are you skipping Anby and Trigger? As a Haramasa main, he's as strong as Julian. Haramasa has a high ceiling. 如果没出完比就让你波可纳满命，你也是可以接受的。Might be getting Trigger if lucky enough. Anby's attacks look pretty cool. When did they go over Anby animations? Okay. Here is the Anby attacks.
Her attacks will charge and activate these marks, stacking up to 3 times. After they are activated, press special attack and
Azure
through
Flash.
the enemy with a powerful slash, dealing electric damage.
Who will you be pulling for? I think I will probably skip Evelyn. I'll try playing some Anby and see how she feels. And then maybe a pull for Anby and Trigger. I kind of like both of them. You want to M3 Bernice because she's your best girl. Glad you like Bernice. This patch is an easy skip for you. We'll only try to get Pulchra's W engine.
consumed will trigger an extra instance of damage.
Oh, 7
This damage will
Evelyn.
be counted as
We'll see.
attack
I will
damage.
decide
With enough energy,
next week.
hold the special attack button, and Anby will throw her
Sundering
dual swords,
bolt.
unleashing Sundering Bolt. 3 stacks of marks will be applied to the enemy hit.
As expected of the captain of Silver
The
Squad,
S in Anby is motion sickness.
your combat style never fails to impress.
As the
And the
former
story
captain
is
of Silver
exciting.
Squad,
I'm looking
Soldier
forward to
Zero-
finding out what happens among the forgotten ruins. Sounds like we might end on a cliffhanger. Probably gonna end with like the proxies awakening their powers. And then we're not gonna learn. We ended on a cliffhanger that one time with the proxies surviving the explosion, giving us a preview to them potentially having powers. We did get Harumasa somewhere recently, but some people completely skipped building him. So for those who didn't build him, Anby will be a nice pickup. Alternatively, you can think of it as for those that build Harumasa, you can skip Anby, maybe even skip Trigger, and then you can pull for upcoming Hugo if Hugo's playable, and upcoming Vivian. Surely Nick will only pull Trigger and don't ditch Anby. Nick doesn't use the Anby. What's her team on release? Feels like if you want to play her right away, Pulchra, you would have to build Pulchra, because she has the synergies with the Aftershock buffing. She herself buffs the Aftershock damage, and then Pulchra deals Aftershock.
Girl Anby excels at fighting as a unit with her teammates. By locking onto a target, not only does Anby's own damage against them increase, that target also takes increased crit.
Yeah, because she seems to inflict a debuff, but it only buffs attacks from Aftershocks. I wonder what if you can play like Anby, if you can play all 3 characters together. Pulchra plus Silver Soldier Anby plus our Trigger. Is Pulchra going to be good with Soldier 11? Seems like she could be. Soldier 11 on-fielding and then Pulchra attacking off-field, triggering. Though Pulchra is physical. We'll have to see.
Damage from Aftershocks. If there's a stun or support character in the squad, the Aftershock damage
she needs-
against it also takes
See, her additional ability is
from Aftershocks.
when another character in your squad is stunned or support character, Anby's crit rate is increased. When Anby is the active character, the entire squad's aftershock damage to enemies with the silver mark is increased. Sounds like she could play with both Trigger and Pulchra. Anby S0, Anby Trigger. Wait, as in normal Anby with other Anby, and then Trigger. Pulchra has some different meters beneath her icon. Let's see.
If there's a stun or support character in the squad, the Aftershock damage against this target will further increase.
Lock onto the enemy, wear them down, and when the time is right,
Deliver the final blow.
That's at the core of my combat instincts.
In combat, hold special attack, and Anby
Her
will
hair,
instantly
I like her hair glow. She has like a little purple glow in her hair. I don't know if it's going to be a exclusive W engine hair glow effect.
inflict 3 stacks of activated marks on the enemy. Then, press special attack to unleash Azure Flash, and quickly deal
You
massive
can't
electric
really
damage.
see it in
Once
combat.
you have enough decibels, press
She just
ultimate
zips
to have
around
Anby
all over the
execute
place.
powerful slashes against enemies in
Blade
a large
strike.
area ahead, dealing massive electric damage while once again applying 3
I like
stacks
this kick.
area ahead, dealing massive electric damage while once
Where she sends her weapon and then it
again
spins
applying
around.
3 stacks of activated marks.
Dual
Then
blades into
unleash
twin
another
blades.
Azure Flash to finish the rotation. In addition, by launching 3 consecutive Azure Flashes, Anby will summon an extra lightning bolt to strike enemies.
Your instincts are the reflexes that separate life from death. After fighting alongside you, I
Her
finally
moveset is
understood
pretty sick.
why Soldier
Seems like you can
11
do a
tries
lot
to
of things
follow
with
in
her
your
too.
footsteps.
Thank
There
you,
was a
Max,
time
for the
when I
hydrate.
thought to destroy
Let me
every
drink some
enemy in my
water.
path. But now, I'll use my strength to fight for what really matters.
By the way, that agile figure we just saw is
It's
actually
Pulchra.
Miss Pulchra. After leaving Pompey's gang, she joined the Sons of Caledon and is now working under Caesar.
Jumping ship to another faction? That's a mercenary for you.
You're right, no mention of a new Bamboo. We got some Bamboo events, but no mention of a Bamboo for Oboe Squad.
Even among mercenaries, Miss Pulchra is a force to be reckoned with. As a physical attribute stun agent,
Hit,
Pulchra
hit, hit.
excels in aftershock attacks, coordinating with her teammates to hunt down enemies.
When Pulchra launches EX special attack, assist follow-up chain or ulti, she enters the Hunter's Gate state, increasing her days inflicted.
With enough energy, press special attack to have Pulchra enter the Hunter's Gate state, increasing her days dealt. When switching off field while under Hunter's Gate,
And
the
then she
state
does
will
her
persist
follow-up
until
attack.
Pulchra switches in again. During this time, if the on-field agent
She
hits
makes
an
a little
enemy
heart.
until Pulchra
I see.
switches in again. During this time, if the
Heart, but making a heart with her dual pistols. And the code is Soldier0Anby. The little heart. When we pass dot time, it's follow-up time.
on-field agent hits an enemy with a special attack or EX special attack, Pulchra will target that enemy, and any damage dealt to the target thereafter may trigger follow-up attacks from Pulchra. If she doesn't have enough energy,
I like this
or while
on-field
Pulchra
teaser.
isn't on the field, she can also enter Hunter's Gate via
It sounds like you can play her with Soldier 11. You just won't be able to necessarily proc the... You will miss out on a bit of having like a fire stunner to keep up uptime on your four-piece drive disc set. But she can off-field proc attacks. I wonder how good her stun is.
an evasive assist.
A truly skilled mercenary is able to...
Wait, so her weapon is a... What is this weapon even? It's like a gun, but then it also combines into like a... Like one of those things. It looks like... I'm missing... It's like a revolver. No, but it also has like an extra part. Retractable gunblade. I think that describes it a bit better. It's a revolver with an axe extension. Revolver with a blade at the handles. Yeah, like an ice pick.
situation on the battlefield and work together with their team.
Last but not least, let's
Here's
talk
Trigger.
about Obo Squad's ace sniper, Miss Trigger. As an electric stun agent, Miss Trigger works best giving her team supporting firepower
Oh, her hair glows, it looks like.
from the flanks.
From our
Hold
W
basic
engine.
attack to activate her scope.
The scope mode looks cool. When shots hit an enemy, Trigger gains 25 purge, up to a maximum of 100. That's probably the bar that's underneath her.
And Trigger will enter her sniper stance, firing continuous shots ahead and accumulating purge. While in sniper mode, use directional movement to adjust your ambush location and
Her flips look pretty cool. Yeah, I know her poses while firing and then the directional to make her move around is pretty sick.
dodge enemy attacks. Upon releasing the basic attack button, Trigger will retract
Especially this
her
attack.
setup and launch a
The
Upon
used to
releasing
attacks
the
look
basic
sick.
attack button, Trigger will retract to her setup and launch a final move, triggering a quick assist for a teammate to
Yeah, she
her
can even
setup.
trigger a quick assist. Doing the using the recoil to do the flips. I really like the animations for Trigger.
And launch a final move, triggering a quick assist for a teammate to enter the field. After all, it's at the back where Trigger, with sufficient purge, truly excels. When on field, squad mates basic
Consume 3 points of purge and launches 1 harmonizing shot. Dealing electric damage can be triggered up to 1 time every 3 seconds.
attacks, special attacks,
That's her off-field
quick
attack.
assists, and other skills hit enemies.
That looks pretty sick. You can on-field your DPS, whether it's Anby or Soldier 11, and then Trigger will come out and poof.
Trigger
How
will
much?
consume attacks, special attacks, quick assists, and other skills hit
It doesn't seem to have dealt that much stun to the
enemies.
guy though.
Trigger will consume a certain amount of purge to snipe the enemy.
It's like in terms of the days build, feels like it builds very little days. But Trigger seems to also increase her damage with 120%. So are we pulling the trigger for Trigger? Triggering a quick assist on... It's like letting go of your basic attack. Yeah, her moveset feels very clean.
With an aftershock attack. If the main attack is an EX special attack,
Consume 5 points of purge and launches harmonizing shot. Ah, this is what inflicts a large amount of days. The skill has relatively high interrupt level. The same type of skill for all squad members can be triggered up to 2 times within 20 seconds.
ultimate, or other similarly powerful move, Trigger will also provide stronger supporting firepower. Apart from dealing a significant amount of days, her supporting attack will also have a relatively
changes
high
based on what your
interrupt
on-field
level.
character
Of course,
is using.
It also consumes more purge. Also note that when Trigger's aftershocks hit enemies, they'll reveal enemy weaknesses.
And will receive a unique stun damage multiplier. Wait, but the stun why is it even called a stun damage multiplier? This stun damage multiplier can be applied to targets even when they're not stunned. You can just call it a damage multiplier. But it's a stun damage multiplier that applies when they're not stunned. I suppose it also means it's also applied when they're stunned. It could just be like a different... It's a stun damage multiplier applied when they're not stunned. They could have just named it like given it like a different multiplier. Yeah, vulnerability or something that can stack with the stun damage multiplier. No, I think it is active. Applied means it's active. Does that mean you can run 2 stunners with trigger? I think you might. I wonder how this stacks with the, let's say, like Chingy's extra stun damage multiplier or lighter. Oh wait, not lighter, like Cohen. It's probably easier to code in than creating a new state. That might be true.
Allowing the squad to deal increased damage.
With the help of my enhanced senses, my bullets can always hit the enemy's weak spot.
Yup, that's not all. With her EX special attack, not only can Miss Trigger deal massive electric damage to enemies, with
How
her
much does
EX
she...
special attack, not only can Miss Trigger deal massive electric...
She only did 11 days to the thing. When the skill hits an enemy, teammates gain 8 seconds of coordinated support, during which harmonizing shot can be triggered up to 4 times. When coordinated support is in effect, harmony shot has no cooldown and can be triggered by hitting the targets with any attack.
Electric damage to enemies, she can also enter
even when she doesn't have a bar.
During coordinated support, when any attack from a squad mate hits an enemy, it will trigger an aftershock attack from Trigger without consuming any purge.
She doesn't have any purge, her bar is empty. 11 days, but it feels like you probably need to utilize... Trigger isn't someone that deals a lot of days damage at once. You need to utilize her off-field follow-up attacks. Would Trigger be good for Soldier 11? I think so. Because Soldier 11 does kind of want to be on-field. She has a nice dodge counter. And then it can be, you can probably play like Lucy, Soldier 11, and Trigger. Only downside is Trigger is electric. So Soldier 11 might lose out on some of the 4-piece fire set uptime. But Trigger seems pretty good. Because it lets Trigger 11 on field and deal extra damage. You keep seeing the enemy with 120% stun damage, but it's actually just extra 120% damage all the time.
Upon reaching the maximum duration or activation count, Trigger exits coordinated support. With enough decibels, press your ultimate and Trigger will release a charged shot again.
Now here you keep the stun damage multiplier even when the enemy's stunned. It's just active all the time. It's 220% during enemy stun. Yeah, I wonder how much damage Trigger can do. If she's more of like just the off-field stun character, or if she can actually deal damage without having Anby as her teammate. Anby and Trigger seems to really synergize, because Anby increases your aftershock attacks. And since all of these apply aftershock, Trigger's damage would be buffed. You could argue she applies the damage, not stun. So it's called a damage multiplier. Now I was wondering why they called it a stun damage multiplier. I guess it means it's a relatively smaller damage increase during stun, but it means her damage multiplier is active all the time. But if she doesn't deal that much days, it might not be the best for Soldier 11, because Soldier 11 benefits a lot from enemies being dazed. You think her ulti is really good? It's free spam attack for 12 seconds.
As the enemies in a large area ahead, dealing massive electric damage and entering coordinated support.
Having Trigger covering my 6 makes me feel at ease.
Next, let's take a look at Miss Trigger's skills in combat. Hold the basic attack button and Miss Trigger enters sniper.
This is my favorite part of her kit
animation.
animation.
Move before bringing
I see she has
in with quick assist mode.
Her finishing move even has an animation.
Her finishing move before bringing a squad mate in with quick assist. Miss Trigger flanks the enemy and exposes their weaknesses, working with her team to launch an offensive. Unleashing her ultimate, Miss Trigger enters coordinated support.
Alright, the coordinated support, ulti coordinated support.
Stuns enemies, creating space for her teammates.
I always give it my all, be it when I'm covering my squad or fighting alone.
I'm glad that
I really like our Trigger's moveset. 一扫过年，又回到了米哈游日历时间。They both feel pretty self-contained because they have this new gimmick. Yeah, that is kind of how I feel. They probably can play okay without it, without each other. But it feels almost like Yanagi and Miyabi. Though Miyabi turns out she doesn't really need Yanagi. But they synergize well. Like how you kind of want to play your aftershocks together. Well, Anby just buffs the aftershock damages. So she would synergize with Pulchra and Trigger. You wouldn't judge the days amount? Yeah, the days amount here can be very misleading. Because we don't even know how they built the characters. We'll have to see on the server. Are there new disc
Soldier
sets for
11
Trigger?
has a reliable teammate like
The
you.
only 2 disc sets.
I finished my burger.
It's the
Mr. V, you should
aftershock
do the book
damage
reveal.
set.
Right.
And then the other
now
8 are
let's take a
anomaly
look at the
set.
long-awaited signal search details.
Where was our
In the
disc?
first half of 1.6,
This
proxies
is
can
our
obtain
banner.
limited to
These
obtain
two.
the
Upon hitting an enemy, if the damage dealt aligns with the equiper's attribute. Technically, you can maybe put Trigger on the 4-piece aftershock. If it turns out she deals a lot of damage. Yeah, it feels like depending on how much damage or depending on how you want to build Trigger, you can put her on the new aftershock damage set. Or Trigger can just go on the days set if you want her to deal more days damage. Her set would be stun and the new shocks that you could maybe also combine. New 4-piece aftershock, 2-piece impact. That feels like it could go. 4-piece of the new shadow harmony and then 2-piece impact. Maybe Trigger can deal, or she can go full DPS. 4-piece shadow harmony, 2-piece electric, 2-piece crit, 2-piece pen. Trigger going to need crit only if you're building her for DPS Trigger. What does it mean when they release a drive disc for a unit that isn't out yet? They commonly do that though. Astra's disc drive set was released before Astra came out too. It means that while you're farming Shadow, I think it's a good marketing. Like it's a good way to bait players to pull for new characters. Because while you're farming your Miyabi, you're getting your Astra drive discs. While you're farming for Anby or Trigger, you're getting drive discs for likely Vivian. So then when Vivian releases, you'll be like, oh, I already have good drive discs. Let's pull for Vivian. So I feel like that could be one reason. It can motivate people to pull for the characters because it's like already built almost.又可以做新的牢房了. I don't think they announced in the live stream that triggers days skills with crit rate. If Trigger needs crit, you'll never get out of the farming mine. Thank you all to Chandler for the 31 months resub. Happy 31 months. Having a bunch of offset pileups can incentivize pulling the new unit. And similarly in HSR, we also have planers that release before the characters themselves release. That's like I think it's a good thing. It lets you pre-farm and then you can also skip if you don't want it. You're definitely pulling for her because when you started the game you would collect all the anomaly queens. I'm excited for our upcoming Vivian. 先把3个角色的材料都刷好，那这次可以把他们的一切刷起来。We are getting the free temples. No extra pulls, but we're getting the usual login temples. Just pulled S2 Phoebe at 8. Pity doing your daily singles. Congratulations, Cyber Carnage. Now you can consider S3 Phoebe. S3 Phoebe gives a lot of damage increase. Since we're already at S2, or you can think about it on the future rerun. Vivian kind of looks like a vampire. Prediction, the Vivian icon is a bluff and the Phaethon melody is for new S-Rank Either anomaly unit Phaethon. I'm excited to see if we'll get a playable MC. Welcome back, Varianto. 你已经给2个击破角色准备了200个那个击破光盘，等着选了，准备了这么多。And the picture of the umbrella. We did see the picture of the Phaethon melody matches with Vivian's umbrella perfectly. If Phaethon becomes playable, I think it should be. Surely they're not gonna make us pull for a MC in the game. Why has got another waifu yet again? I think these were the most exciting. The story. I wanna watch. Let's watch our trailer one more time.
Buried in the rubble. I'm not sure how I survived.
Is my quality kind of low? 1080.
But now, I'll bring this to an end with my own hands. Dying in place of Soldier 11 was my duty.
You are...
It's been a long time. I'm Anby, captain of Silver Squad.
It's been a long time.
Your friends beyond saving,
Can't wait to see
Sniper.
Anby level up.
Silver Company's revival is imminent. No one can stop it.
This isn't right. If they truly wanted to secretly revive this technology...
Are these the same enemies that we've had? The two, their hair looks a bit different.
Isn't right. If they truly wanted to secretly revive this technology, they wouldn't need to go through so much trouble.
Are these new enemies? Yeah, I was thinking it reminded me a bit of like Thanatos,
Revival
but
is imminent.
they didn't have like a flowy cloak or long hair. So I couldn't tell exactly, but I think it is a variant or like a new.
No one can stop it.
They have a cloak and then they have their long hair. Thanatos with girl heads. Thanatos with the long white hair.
This isn't right. If they truly wanted to secretly revive this technology, they wouldn't need to go through so much trouble.
We are sisters, in a way. Please.
I can't wait to see this scene. Are Anby and Soldier 11 fighting side by side?
Help me. I don't want to lose anything or anyone important to me again.
I'm really hyped for this scene.
Our very existence is evil. But we don't have to become the mistake they made us to be. Silver Company's legacy ends with me.
The Exaltus are plotting an attack. If they succeed, all of us will...
And this is our Pulchra.
The departed didn't leave us wounded, or with a heavy cross to bear. But with a
Sisters
melody,
in a way. And the back-to-back.
let the wind be the opening notes.
Her backflip is
I
really
got
sick.
your back.
The
Leave it
backflip
to
off the
me.
recoil.
As a sniper, you have failed in your duty. Fear, suffering, despair.
Enjoy. This is
Why,
not
this is Hugo.
exactly new Eridu tech.
Stay alert. Sacrifice might break up soon.
The world was never
We even get to
fair
see
begin
like
with.
Cohen in
You
action.
honestly believe you stand...
So like Cohen and Hugo have a 1v1. They're fighting each other here. I'm excited to see the like Cohen and Hugo fight.
If the world's destined to be destroyed,
And then we have Vivian.
if the ending could be rewritten,
She really looks like a vampire. Wait, did Hugo have a scythe? You're right. We did see Hugo swing. Let me see. He takes out. It does look like a big scythe. Hugo. Does it have? That's one side. Hugo with the scythe. You're right.
You stand a chance against
Oh, we
all
could
of
see it a bit better at the very end.
You honestly believe you...
Where he slashes over and you can see the full Hugo and the scythe. I don't think we see our Vivian. It's the only scythe ice. It could be a pick. It does look a bit icy on one side. Oh, it's his briefcase. He has his briefcase scythe. How does this thing turn into a briefcase? Where does all the contents go? Does all the contents spill out if you turn it into a scythe mode? That means he's a DPS if he has that weapon. Iron Man briefcase ruby scythe. It does remind me a bit of the ruby scythe. It's probably empty only for show.
stand a chance against all of Tops?
if the world's destined to be destroyed, if the ending could be rewritten, what would you be willing to
We
give
don't get
up?
to see much of Vivian. Is Soldier 11 going to be Oboe Squad or Silver Squad? I think she's still gonna be Oboe Squad. Do you think this is Vivian's voice at the end?
The world's destined to be destroyed. If the ending could be rewritten, what would you be willing to give up?
That's Ackermans. That line does sound like something Akron would say. You can't fix her, but she can fix you. Lore theory for which? For which part? That purple temptress shall be yours. Cause Silver Squad, I think it's gone. The Silver Squad is gone with Soldier 11 become Anby. It sounds like Trigger. That's true. Maybe it could be Trigger talking. Upside down, Hugo and Vivian. And then back to back, Anby and Trigger. I can't believe we're getting both story quests. One story quest for Anby and one story quest for Trigger. I think we covered most of our exciting... Rewatched most of our exciting scenes. I hope like Koen Yen is voiced this time too. Upside down, get it? Because they're bats? Because they're vampires? She might be like Jane, where her emblem and squad is special. I seem to, based on what they're saying, it feels like Silver Squad is no longer a thing. You're interested for the Hollow Zero new moves? Wait, I want to take a look. Astra's beam attack looked pretty sick. Oh, and then the boss? This really looks like a raid boss mechanic. The one where you have to run through... Where was it? Over here. The one where you have to run through. That was before this part. It feels like you can't hit the boss because we can't fly and ZZZ. We can't jump. And then, yeah, Geppetto looks pretty sick. I hope they'll add like co-op one day to ZZZ and then we can actually get the MHW at home. The raid boss here. Geppetto with the mechanics.
Geppetto will lay a curtain of phantoms and rain
this looks pretty cool
on his enemies. If any agent missteps and enters the curtain of phantoms,
if you look on the bottom, all your skills get grayed out because you get debuffed by I'm covering. Once you step in, your skill you can still cast your ulti, it looks like.
And rain attacks down on his enemies. If any agent missteps and enters the curtain of phantoms, they'll enter the suspended state where they're slowed and they cannot use their skills.
However, Geppetto also has weakness.
This part where he controls the puppets is pretty sick too. Naturally hearing Geppetto as Gepardo. Only Fuyo. Looking forward to skipping this boss. Wait, what happened to my video? Oh,
after the update,
that video's glitched.
Agents can focus their fire to impair Geppetto by destroying its hands or tail.
We can destroy the hand and the tail. They don't seem to fall off though. Maybe it'll appear broken. Sometimes I need to refresh because the video goes through like a different encoding after.
Enter the puppet state.
When the battle reaches its climax,
kind of laggy.
The battlefield will also reach its shadowy epilogue. Geppetto will lay a curtain of phantoms and rain attacks down on his enemies.
Where was I?
If any agent missteps and enters the curtain of phantoms, they'll enter the suspended state where they're slowed and they cannot use their skills.
And then we have our Nikki mode.
A reliable sniper, able to switch between scoping and non-scoping modes. In non-scoping
I'm looking forward to our shooting. The boss arena looks like this is our Nikki mode. It's a good opportunity for them. We have our sniper character, our shooting character, and then they can add in this extra fun mode. I like the innovation in the random game modes we get every patch. You'll need to hear Trigger's JP voice. If we look at the JP live stream, we can probably hear.
Oh.
Oops.
Oh.
Do they have the live? Is it this one? Let's hear them. We can listen to their voices here. This is Mr. Z.
どうにも緊張してしまうんですよ。大丈夫ですよ。プロ棋士の皆さん、こんにちは。私はトリガー、新エリート防衛軍、オボル小隊所属、狙撃手です。
I like it! Sounds familiar. I like it. I actually just skipped to the part where Trigger talks. Let's listen to it again.
新エリート防衛軍、オボル小隊所属、狙撃手です。
アンビー、ジャトヤ所属、従業員よ。
自己紹介の仕方を真似しなくても。
Trigger voice.
とにかくお二人とも。
Can people tell who it is? Torviga. Chat is saying, who is her JPVA? Some people seem to be able to tell. You've heard that voice in an anime. Do they? I don't think they tell you the VA in the bottom. Topaz JP. Chat can probably tell. Trigger sounds like the school council president.
久しぶりね。今は亡きシルバー小隊の隊
Oh, the
長。
voices are so nice. Let's listen to
ラ
him
イアー
talk
商隊
somewhere.
に所属していました。
もしや両目もその頃に
I think it's Topaz VA.
構いません。別段避けている話でもないので、私はとある任務で収束したエーテルに被弾し、両目が侵食されました。
Oh, Kavarian says it's Trigger JP VA Yoshino Nanjo. Is it actually the Topaz VA? 直接零加一，我挺喜欢这个 Trigger 的。Is she the one who voiced? And Lin VA of Tower Fantasy. Tower of Fantasy. I see. No wonder people said sounds familiar. I like her JP voice. But what does her Chinese voice sound like? Where is the... Do they upload the live stream on... Ah, this one.
不好，要迟到了。
What's her Sanby like?
这个你是怎么看出？实在抱歉，潘姬小姐，毕竟
没有关系，让我来吧。
好。
各位绳匠们好，我是班基，来自新爱丽都防卫军奥布勒斯小
That
队
sounds a bit older.
司职狙击手。
大
家好，我是安比，
我是
布勒
Anby.
斯小队司职狙击手。
I like her JP trigger better. 反击在开服，哎对哦，但当时没有注意过声音。Technically, we did have the trigger voice in the game previously, because she was in Soldier 11's mission. But I don't think many people remember what she sounded like from all the way back in 1.0. Anby and Ian and JP sound so similar. Yeah, her eyes got corrupted by the ethereal. 但是国内就说板机的声音好听。Anby in all three languages very consistent. The voicing director probably told them to maintain a specific type of pitch. Time to do Soldier 11 story again. Are you actually? Let me drink some water. Thank you, Bug Type Ranger, for the hydrate earlier. JP1 feels close, like mom. I do like the JP1 quite a bit. Let me make my windows smaller. Okay. I think we'll end our stream for today.